If you now switch to oh,
Just move. Go ahead. Okay.
right. Okay, so the effects of new technology on employment. A study by PricewaterhouseCoopers says that 30% of all the jobs in the UK could be at risk and replaced by robots and artificial intelligence. What do we need to think about? For example, office workers. A lot of people who do data entry. We can use optical character recognition. So instead of having to copy and paste everything, we can just scan it and it automatically converts to text. Taxi drivers with the self-driving vehicles. Taxi drivers doesn't look good. Shop staff. We're already in left and right. We see places where you can either check out yourself or the checkout procedure is being simplified. This is just a few steps away for the shop staff to become completely superfluous. Amazon will put a further pressure on this Amazon Fresh that brings your groceries directly to your house. That will put another pressure on. So left and right, and these are just examples of jobs that may disappear completely. But there are also a lot of people do work that can be partly automized. So it doesn't mean that the entire job will disappear, but it could be that it will partly disappear because part of your duties can be automized and therefore become more efficient. So as a total, the 30% of UK jobs, that also includes basically the work that will be partly taken away by within your job. Could be at risk of being replaced due to robots and artificial intelligence. In the US, up to 38% of jobs could be at risk of automation. And McKinsey predicts that by 2030, as many as 800 million jobs could be lost worldwide due to automation. So that's only in 12 years' time. Advances in AI and robotics will have drastic effects on everyday working lives. In the US alone, between 39 and 73 million jobs tend to be automated. So basically everybody's in agreement. But what about the classical theory? So technological progress will lead to creative destruction. Creative destruction means that destruction needs to take place, and on that destruction, new jobs will be formed. That may be true. That when things change, new jobs will appear. Jobs that we may not even can envision at the moment. But there also disappear jobs. But what will be the total effect? And it seems quite likely that a lot of work will disappear. What will be the consequences for us as a society? What will be the consequences for certain professions and for society as a whole? That's the topic of discussion in this first part of this afternoon session. Employment. Income inequality is likely to grow, possibly leading to political instability, and the individuals who need to retrain for new careers won't be the young, but the middle-aged professionals.
By the way, audience cannot read these sentences. Must be careful.
They cannot read the sentence?
Yeah, no, the recording just only
faces?
No, only faces.
Oh,
must be careful reading sentence.
Okay, so
it's more clearly to pronounce it.
Can we not
no,
project both?
No.
Okay.
So you must be more carefully pronounce sentence.
I see.
Nobody can see.
All right. So income inequality, that will be an issue. The gap that we're already witnessing this in today's society and is expected to rise, the gap between the people who will be able to adapt to the new situation, who will be able to retrain themselves, who will be agile, who will understand how to manage themselves using this new technology and will be able to float. Those will be the winners of this movement, but there will also be losers. I mean, think about, for example, I just mentioned the taxi drivers. The average taxi driver, the age of the average taxi driver in Tokyo, I think, is close to 70. What what will be their future? Will they be able to retrain and adapt themselves to the new situation? That will be quite, well, not very likely, I think. So what are we going to do with those people? Are we going to give them base income? Are we going to give them some kind of social security? Or are we just going to kind of create work for them so that they can stay working, maybe not productively, but still keep their dignity and keep them satisfied, because it's a big group. And we cannot only look at this from an economic perspective. We also need to look at this from a humane perspective. So the changes won't hit everyone equally. So only 5% of the current occupations tend to be completely automated. Like I said before, like taxi drivers, for example, bus drivers, truck drivers, shop staff. If today's cutting-edge technology is widely adopted, well, in 60% of the jobs, 1/3 of the activities will be automated. So when you do, for example, an office job, for example, take an office lady, a part of her job will be data entry. But she'll do a lot of other things that will not be replaceable. For example, well, I was just going to give an example like answering the telephone, but I don't know if you saw Google I/O. These jobs are also likely to disappear, because artificial intelligence will be able to answer the phone, not only inbound but even outbound. Will be able to be a human equivalent. So yes, not everything will disappear. Maybe the phone is a bad example, but other things when it comes to human to human interaction, in terms of sales, in terms of service, in terms of care, these activities will be very difficult to automate. Maybe we will get tools that make care more effective or lighter work, but it will only be in support of the human-to-human interaction. That still will remain at the core of care. It's a person-to-person activity. According to economic theory, this is a quote: "Technology destroys jobs, but not work." It's not true that all automation automatically kills jobs. It is estimated actually that the PC, the personal computer, actually that led to a net creation of 18.5 million jobs. That means some of the work that people did manually, for example, bookkeeping. People put things, wrote down numbers, and they used pocket calculators. Before that, they used an abacus or I don't know how you call it in Japan, the abacus. Or is it also Soroban? Mm-hmm. So that's how things work. But that work, the Soroban, the abacus disappeared, and the pocket calculator took its place, and so little by little we became much more effective in crunching numbers. The PC actually made that even more effective. So some people, as a result, some work disappeared, but as a whole, the whole PC brought employment, because the PCs needed to be made, needed to be sold. People needed to be trained on the PC. A lot of work on the PC was actually making us more effective, more better informed in doing our work. For example, farmers use the PC to calculate exactly how to treat the land, and we can see that everywhere around us. So the PC is not only there to replace work; it's also enables us to do things better. So as a whole, this PC actually created jobs. So economic history suggests that new technology can benefit everyone in society, enabling growth in productivity, which in return brings us higher real wages, shorter working weeks, and we can see that. It is said that actually basically women liberation started with automation. It started with making work lighter on them by introducing electrical equipment in the households, etc. That freed up a lot of the time of a lot of the manual labor, and that gave women more time for education, for developing themselves, to work part-time and enter the work field. So we needed to work less. Shorter work and greater job satisfaction, and any technological unemployment will prove to be short-lived. That was the economic theory. However, there are no guarantees that this will always occur.
Are you talking about 18.5 million at the global level? United States?
I am. It's actually, I'm not 100% sure. I would estimate that this is only United States.
But even if in the United States, this figure is too small. America will disappear in job about, you said, 70 million or 80 million.
No. This is already behind us. This is already what happened in the past. I'm not talking about what's going to happen next, but this is basically what they say. Well, this happened to us in the past, so why do we worry so much about AI, and why do we worry so much about IoT and all the new technologies that will and driverless vehicles and deep learning and all these things? Because look at what happened to the PC. The PC, everybody was afraid that the people would lose their jobs.
No, my question is, in future,
right,
70-80 million jobs will disappear.
Yes, in the US it's
and
estimated.
You said 18.5 million is created.
Yes, that was in the past.
Oh, this is in the past?
In the past, yes. We talk about the PC. This is only about the PC.
No, you said estimated.
Yeah, it's estimated. We are not 100% sure. So here.
It's estimated.
Yes. So we do not know for sure. We haven't counted them one by one.
In the past?
Yeah, so in the past. So this is about the past. So basically what the general theory says, automation doesn't kill jobs. Look at the PC.
Okay.
Look at the PC, because the PC actually created jobs.
止まんない。
何ですか？
これわかんないけど。龍がくれたお菓子。
あ、龍？
うん、北京美味しい。止まらない。
Would you like some? What is it? It's Chinese. ごめんなさいね、高橋さん。これ、
What's up?
Can you see it?
Chinese senbei.
It's senbei.
What's that? お菓子。
お菓子。ちょっと硬い。Sweet.
はい、皆さんこんにちは、雲野です。今日はですね、雲野塾の研修のプログラムをご紹介したいと思います。で、こういうふうなホームページありますけれども、ぜひですね、一度中身をご覧になっていただきたいと思います。今日はブーキューブさんのスタジオに来て、この収録をしておりますので、中身はこういうふうになってて、今最近ホットなね、グローバルリーダーの定義など書いてあります。で、特に経団連が作成しました、留学すれば英語ができて専門性を持つというだけではですね、グローバルリーダーになれないとここに書いてありますようにですね、仕事ができる専門性を持つ英語ができるだけじゃなくてですね、私どもの塾では、 リベラルアースということと、それからもう一つは孫子の兵を、さらにはですね、日本の歴史というものを合わせて教えることによって、皆さんが海外の欧米の方々と、もしくは華僑圏の方々と正々堂々と渡り合えるような人物を育成しようというふうなことを考えています。ここに次のスライドが出ておりますけれども、ここに書いてありますのはですね、さらに、私どもの雲野塾の中身につきましてはですね、欧米の資料しか使っておりません。また実際に雲野塾は英語でやっておりますので、英語の講師が話しておりますけど、各週はですね、日本の歴史をまだ教えてますので、各週の午後はですね、日本のプログラムをしております。以前はこれ有料だったので、今はですね、実際に会場費も取っていただいておりませんで、毎回5000円ということで、朝9時から午後5時までやっておりますので、ぜひ皆さんですね、ご検討の上ご参加いただければと。英語のできない方もですね、各週の午後こういうふうな検証をしておりますので、ぜひご参加いただければというふうに思っておりますので、よろしくお願いします。で、ここにさらにですね、グループ討議とか実務の勘どころを教えると書いてありますけど、実際には私が10年ほどですね、欧米の新聞とか雑誌等をですね、集めてきた、もともと英語のベースでございますので、そうしたものをですね、50セッションのテーマに分けて資料を作成しております。そういうことで、世界のオペレーション、もしくはカントリーリスクも含めてですね、しかも世界のトップの方々に対しても、いろいろな分析とか洞察をしてですね、議論をしております。そういったことも含めてですね、今後ともよろしくお願いしたいと思います。以上で私の挨拶を終えますが、今回のこのビデオの収録にあたってはですね、V キューブさんのスタジオをお借りしてですね、お時間を頂戴して、このビデオを作成させていただきました。よろしくお願いします。どうもありがとうございました。